It's the semifinals of the Division III playoffs, featuring two teams that are loaded with postseason success. The Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders have been in the playoffs in 11 of the last 12 years. The Mount Union Purple Raiders have won a record 10 national championships. Whose high-powered offense is better and who advances to the championship game? Those answers unfold right now. NCAA Division III football championships on ESPNU are presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We move into the semifinals. Our first matchup today here in Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union hosting Mary Hardin Baylor from Texas. We look at the brackets. The winners of today's semifinal games play on Friday night in Salem, Virginia for this year's Division III championship. We welcome you inside Mount Union Stadium. Dan Gutowski with my partner John Gregory. And John, both of these teams have an immense amount of playoff experience. But for the seniors, for the Purple Raiders, they've been to the championship game the last 3 years and haven't won.
No, 3 years in the championship game, coming up empty on those times. Maybe the fourth time is a championship for this football team.
And we have two high-powered offenses, each team averaging over 50 points a game. You don't get that kind of production without good quarterbacks.
No, and it all starts with Ladero Bailey. When you're talking about this Crusaders offense, you can see completing 72% on the year, 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, number 2 in the country in pass efficiency. He certainly has a lot of talent. On the other side of the ball, for Mount Union, you have Kevin Burke. This guy's a sophomore, first-year starter. He's got great touch. He's got some real good accuracy, but the good thing, he's got speed surrounding him at the wide receiver position. And when nobody's open, he can pull the football down and run with it. He's averaging about 7 yards every time he runs with the football. And he's got great stats to show everything here. As you see, he's number 1 in the country in pass efficiency, 34 touchdown passes on the year, 5 interceptions, so he's loaded with talent. Should be an offensive explosion today.
The Crusaders need a defensive star. It could be this guy today, senior linebacker Javice Jones. We'll kick it off here in Alliance, Ohio in a moment. We're back in Alliance, Ohio. This is the place we always seem to be for the semifinals in Division III football from year to year. Here's our weather conditions here. Fairly warm day. Usually they can get snow around this time of year, but no snow in the forecast today. A fairly strong wind and cloudy conditions here for these two teams. And we take a look at our head coaches, starting with Pete Fredenberg for Mary Hardin Baylor. This program he's the only coach they've had in the history of this program for 15 years, and he's taken them to 11 Division III playoff appearances. On the other side, Larry Karras, a great coach, 27 years, one of only 10 coaches with at least 300 wins, and he is a tremendous offensive-minded coach. And our kickoff gets this game started, and it's the Purple Raiders running back the kick. And they get out to about the 30-yard line on the return. And it's a Purple Raider opportunity, John, to get offense going first. That is what this team is known for. Again, averaging 55 points a game and at least 55 points scored in each of their 3 playoff games.
And you look at last week and the success that they had, it was a lot of that went with this quarterback right here. 380 yards passing through the air. He had 115 yards on the ground, so he accounted for an awful lot of that yardage, and they're going to need that today. This is a very good Mary Hardin Baylor defense that they're facing.
Burke will hand off on first down, and that's T.J. Lattimore, the senior from Maple Heights, Ohio. And we take a look at the Mount Union offense as they have the football first on the offensive line. 2 3-year starters and 1 2-year starter in this group. That wideout, Jasper Collins, a tremendous postseason for him so far. We'll talk about his numbers as we look at the offensive line for Mount Union's Purple Raiders. And the injured player on the field is just at about the 33-yard line. And that's Jared Modrak, the senior from Clinton Township, Michigan. So they will help him get to his feet and get off the field. And they spot the ball at the 33-yard line. So he'll get attention on the sideline, and it'll bring up second down and 7 to go for Mount Union's Purple Raiders, who are just a dynamic offense like no other in college football.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see without Modrak in there at the tackle position there. He new to the offense this year, was a defensive player for 2 years, aggressive tackle. So can they replace him early in this football game?
Burke will pass, ball is tipped. Intended and incomplete. And here's our defensive lineups for Mary Hardin Baylor. Defensive line, junior Silvio Diaz, a very, very hard hitter in the trenches there. The junior from Leander, Texas. And the linebacking group, we mentioned Javis Jones. He is incredibly good. A very high football IQ for him. In the secondary, Cody Jones and Broderick Crane are excellent cover guys against the pass, and they will be tested today. 3rd and 7. Burke's got a little time, and he's going to run, and he's going to get the first down and then some past midfield. Lots of open area for Kevin Burke. He's a playmaker with his feet, John, as well as with his arm.
Yeah, and he was controlling this, but he got a great downfield block by Julius Moore, number 16, the wide receiver. Take a look at him at the top right of your screen here. But actually, the quarterback sent him off down the field. He turned up, and when he did, the defender followed him, and then he let him have it at the end. But a big pickup by Burke, and that's what we talked about, averaging over 7 yards a carry when he's running the football.
And this is Lattimore running around the same end that Burke just did. Kevin Burke's run was for 18 yards. And it's TJ Lattimore, a very quick runner for them.
That was a key pickup on 3rd down, and that's what we'll take a look at. This Mount Union offense averaging 51% coming into this ball game on the year on 3rd down conversions.
2nd down and 5. Burke will fake and keep himself and get enough for a first down inside the 40. Burke, the sophomore from Westlake, Ohio. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, but after the Raiders get the first down.
The Raiders do a good job of spreading the field offensively, and they're dangerous on the outside, and that's what makes Burke such an effective runner when he pulls the ball down and runs with it, because you've got to cover the guys on the outside.
Burke's going to throw, deep ball down the middle, and it is caught. Touchdown, the Purple Raiders strike again. And guess who? Jasper Collins from 38 yards out. John, that is his 10th postseason touchdown this year.
Yeah, 21st of his career, and I'll tell you, tremendous speed on the outside, and that's what this Crusader defense was scared about, these guys getting behind him. And Jasper Collins, not the only guy that can get behind you, and that's what makes these wide receivers so dangerous for this football team.
Broderick Crane could not stay with Jasper Collins. Collins, the senior from Geneva, New York, a 6-play, 70-yard scoring drive. And Tyler Almeida will come on to attempt the point after. And we get our first time out here. A touchdown score, the deep ball from Burke to Collins. And the Raiders are on the board. So we have our first touchdown as we expected. The points will come fast and furious here. That's Jasper Collins, who is continuing to break all kinds of records here. And there's the scoring drive. He now has 10 playoff touchdowns just this year. That's, for some guys, that's their whole season.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they call him Junior, and boy, he can fly on the outside. 21st touchdown reception of the season. He knows how to find that end zone.
Ball is taken in the end zone and brought out by Jeff Miles. And a good stop at about the 20-yard line. Again, 10 touchdowns in a season is pretty good for most people. That's more than I had in my whole career. And that was at recess.
Yeah, oh, well, he knows how to get it there. And that speed on the outside, that's what makes that offense so dangerous. Their ability to run the football when you combine that play-action fake. Just so dangerous.
They spot the ball at the 18-yard line for Ladero Bailey. Senior quarterback, and the handoff on first down doesn't go anywhere. We take a look at Mary Hardin Baylor's offense first. Skilled players, Darius Wilson, an explosive runner. Elijah Hudson, more of a downhill runner who goes between the tackles. And the offensive line guard, Mike Coles, very active and taking a leadership role with this group. Montana Duncan's had a very good playoff run for them as well. 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss. And this is an explosion run out to about the 25 as they go right back and pick up some positive yardage. Here's the defense for Mount Union. They run a 4-2-5. And a lot of good players in that group that are in the front four. They stop the run. There's the 2 linebackers, Diesel and Spencer, and the secondary with 5 players in the backfield. Blair Skilleter, a very, very physical player for them. Look for him to be all over the field. And this is 3rd down and 3, and Bailey's going to throw, and ball is tipped, almost picked, and Skilleter was right there, John. Almost a big play for them on defense.
Well, you can see the speed. He's the fastest on this team. Skilleter is Blair. He comes by. He recognizes the quarterback's eyes looking here. Had a guy to the outside, maybe a swing guy if he wanted to dump it to the outside, but you can see Skilleter break on that football. Good defensive play. Good start for Mount Union's defense.
So the punting unit comes on. Chris Denton is deep to return. And the punt is by Chad Peavy. Denton will let it go, and the ball is not returned, and they'll start at about the 36-yard line, a 38-yard punt. And, John, if you're looking at the big picture for the Crusaders, their offense, the pressure is going to be always on them, especially now, because you can't afford to let Mount Union get, 2-3 scores ahead in a game like this, because they continue to be so aggressive about getting points that your offense feels that pressure, starting with the opening series.
Yeah, and statistically, you look at it, when you look at Mount Union's defense, teams throw the ball against them because they have to. They have to try to come back, and rushing statistics are a little bit different.
Burke able to stay on his feet and get some positive yardage to almost the 40-yard line.
Nice effort by Kevin Burke that time, but missed tackles on this Crusaders defense side. They're going to have to wrap up, find a way to get to the quarterback. They're going to have to gang tackle. Not an easy guy to take down.
They get 4 yards on what basically was a busted play. 2nd down and 6. Burke's got time, throws a little comeback, and it's complete for a 1st down. And he hooks up with Chris Denton. Denton, a senior from Plantation, Florida.
And Denton, one of the guys that kind of moves to the inside. Last year he was in the wide receiver position, kind of moves to the slot. Kind of a guy that'll get the bubble screen for you, but a nice possession receiver, and you combine that with the outside talent they have, and that's what is a dangerous offense through the air.
He was a little slow to get up, but he comes off the field. This is Lattimore running wide and getting the edge inside Crusader territory. At the 47-yard line. Lattimore, a good runner between the tackles, but we've seen him go outside and put pressure on those defensive ends, Johnson and Stewart, for Mary Hardin Baylor. They get 6 yards to bring up 2nd and 4. Lattimore in space. Fumbled football, it's on the turf, and they say that the Crusaders have recovered the fumble. Not sure if it got popped loose or if he just mishandled it. But Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders come up with the first big defensive play.
Well, his cutting ability that time, looking inside, had that football in the outside hand there and reached inside, and it was Jones that was able to knock that football free. And big turnover early for this Crusaders defense, and they're going to need to do that. They're going to have to rally to the football and make tackles as a group. And I'll tell you what, big turnover early in the game can help this offense.
These numbers are just off the charts. It's like there's no ceiling for these teams on offense. And we have Mary Hardin Baylor a chance to get back in this game. After the turnover, the run on first down out to about the 45.
And the two statistics when we saw that, right? Plus 19, plus 15 in the turnover margin. Both of these teams have protected the football this year and forced a lot of turnovers. So it'll be interesting to watch those numbers today.
Brings up second down and 4. Bailey hands off again. This time a power run for a first down. Another fumble. Is the ball down? The runner was headed down. And I don't know if the officials are going to review this or call it a first down. Let's look at the replay.
Well, both of these teams better protected today. There's going to be some hard hitting out there. And Nick Driscoll, you'll hear his name an awful lot today. You better protect the football. And for the Crusaders offense, they were fortunate to be able to get that one back.
Elijah Hudson was met head on. Now it's 1st and 10. Will roll out complete to Hudson, but only a gain of 2. So a run-heavy offense to start this game for the Crusaders, John. And the passes have been a little bit more conservative, not looking downfield yet.
Yeah, through the season, 235 yards passing a game. On the ground, 306. Somewhat balanced. Could be skewed a little bit. That run game, so strong for this football team.
This is Hudson, a big run up the middle, inside the 35. Let's take a look at the rankings for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. They have just piled up point after point after point. Look at that turnover margin, tremendous. And they are running with the quarterback keep with Bailey still on his toes and getting a first down for the Crews.
Boy, a fun football game if you like offense. Both these teams very exciting, and it's because of the quarterback position. Both quarterbacks able to take it down, run the football. We mentioned over 7 yards a carry. Had 937 yards this year rushing, Bailey did. 13 touchdowns to go along with it, so they both like to pull it down.
Hudson plows ahead from the 28. Driscoll on the tackle.
This team's a little bit different than just the pure zone read defense when you're reading the end. They love to give it to the fullback slash halfback. They kind of have that slash in there. Hudson's that guy that loves to get it like a fullback. Take it up inside those tackles. He's picked up an awful lot of yards inside.
2nd and 5. Here comes Darius Wilson. Ball at about the 20. Isaiah Scott, cornerback, the senior from Hamilton, Ohio, on the tackle. And it brings up 3rd down and 2.
And this Crusader offense moving quick now, getting to the line of scrimmage, trying to get into some type of rhythm here.
Bailey's going to option, and here's the toss to Wilson. Forced out, but he gets the first down for the Crusaders.
Pretty good read by the quarterback. You see him coming outside. He's got one guy to pitch off. If he's going to stay with you, get it to the outside. And again, he gets a good block by his wide receiver, Jeff Miles, to the outside. Picks up that extra yards he needs for that first down.
9th play of this drive. Ball is at the 12-yard line. Crusaders try to capitalize after a fumble. The handoff to Darius Wilson. Boy, the blocking up front, John, continues to be very impressive for Mary Hardin Baylor.
Absolutely, and the thing they have behind that is the speed. You can see him coming up inside here, just reading it, coming straight through. Good blocking to the inside, and they just wall it off. Bunch of white shirts, big bodies up front. You know, this Purple Raiders defense was afraid of the speed. They have to be concerned of the strength up front as well.
2nd down at the 4. Bailey gets stretched out and pushed out. They can still get a first down without scoring, as this drive all started after the fumble. And Mount Union's defense now getting pushed hard in the other direction. The red zone defense has been stellar for Mount Union this year. And what a great balance so far offensively. 11 passing plays for the Crusaders and about 10, so it's a pretty good mix. Here's a handoff and a jump by Elijah Hudson trying to get over that first line of defense, and he didn't get much beyond it, and a flag as well.
Well, the Crusader offense that time breaking the huddle, coming up to the line of scrimmage, kind of sprinting up to the line, try to get out there quickly and get an advantage on the Purple Raiders defense, and they may have moved, or take a look and see if it was the Purple Raiders defense that may have lined up offsides.
Brad Robber is our referee today.
Offside,
here.
defense, number 6, lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal. The result of the penalty will be a first down.
So it's a little bit of help for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. The Purple Raiders scored on a 38-yard touchdown throw on their first possession, but the fumble has changed this game. And this is Elijah Hudson, who breaks the goal line for a touchdown for Mary Hardin Baylor.
Just a good read by the back here as he cuts to the outside. Nice adjustment. He gets popped as he's crossing that goal line. Nick Driscoll lost his helmet on that play. Good thing it ended that way and he had to come off because he was a little dizzy after that play, but there is some hard hitting going on early in this football game.
Chad Peavy comes on for the point after attempt to tie this game at 7. And to 7 it is. A hard-hitting game here in Alliance, Ohio. A tie game here in our first quarter of the Division III semifinals. So our first quarter here gets a lot more interesting. If you're a Mary Hardin Baylor fan, and there's the scoring drive. The short 2-yard run by Hudson capped it off. It all started with the fumble recovery, and that's why we're even up at 7 apiece. And Peavy will kick off. Julius Moore, who you see right there in your screen, and Blair Skilleter are the return men. And this is going to go to Julius Moore right at his own 10-yard line. And a little seam on the near side and an explosion before he's forced out at the 35. Let's take a look at Mary Hardin Baylor and the Crusaders. They come from pretty far away down in Texas, in the American Southwest Conference. And again, a lot of playoff experience. This is the 15th year of this program. They've had one head coach, that's Pete Friedenberg, and they have had all kinds of success. And the last time that Pete Friedenberg came here, John, was back in 2004, a semifinal game, and his team won and beat Mount Union here in a game that was filled with snow and all kinds of stuff. And a toss here, a short catch made on the near side.
Now that Crusader team went on to lose that championship game the following week. Had the lead late in that football game and lost it at the very end. So they've been fighting to get back to that championship game and have that opportunity for one more win.
Second down and 7. Pass over the middle is complete to the tight end, Shannon Stewart. He's coming back from an injury, so he's been out of the lineup for the last few games. Ball is spotted at the 47-yard line, and it's a Purple Raider first down.
Stewart listed as that tight end, gives them that big body in the middle that they can go over the football, get that play action fake, holding those linebackers, and you want a guy like that you can find easily over the ball.
Burke is going to throw with lots of time, and a throw in the middle. It is caught by Jasper Collins. He is down right away, but it's complete to the 33-yard line, and that's a gain of about 14 yards.
Well, to throw these strikes down the field, you need great protection. Look at this offensive line here. Nobody close to the quarterback. And when Jasper Collins is that wide open, Burke's going to find him, and it's just pitch and catch all day. Going to be easy for this Mount Union offense. If they can hold out that pressure, it's going to be easy for this offense to move the ball down the field through the air.
I sold them short. It's a gain of 20. Ball spotted at the 33. And they hand off a power run there. And that's Jake Simon, senior running back from Parma Heights, Ohio. Not going to get a lot of touches, but again, he just put his head down and rolled up 6 yards on that first down.
Well, they've got a stable of backs when you're talking about Lattimore and Minnick back there. Skilleter will run it from back there, and Simon as well, 70 carries on the year. So they've got a group of guys that can run it out of that backfield.
Burke will throw a deep ball in the end zone too high. Chris Denton was in the vicinity, but he was a little too far away from that football, and it brings up 3rd down and 4. Burke's passing numbers today, pretty respectable. The 38-yard touchdown throw was the big play. And for Mary Hardin Baylor, the big play for them was the fumble recovery that got their scoring drive started here. 3rd and 4 at the 27. Burke's going to improvise, and he's got a whole lot of turf to work with. A first down and then some. Still going inside the 10 and finally brought down. What a nifty runner he is. May not beat you with speed, but boy, he has great field vision.
And he's smart too. That time they blitzed off the left side. His right, as you can see it coming from the right side, he recognizes it, knows it's man-to-man coverage, and whenever you have man coverage, they're just going to run the defenders off. That's what they did, and it was just wide open spaces for Burke that time.
18 yards on the run, and it is 1st and goal as we look at the red zone offensive numbers for Mount Union. Here's a throw in the corner, wide open, touchdown. Burke found his man wide open in the corner, and guess who? Jasper Collins strikes again. 11 playoff touchdown catches in 4 games.
He's so dangerous on the outside. That time he ran a slant corner and an easy throw for Burke. I love his composure back there from a quarterback position. He knows where his receivers are going to be. He's just a sophomore, and they work together all summer to get to this point right now. But Jasper Collins runs great routes, has very soft hands, and you can see why he's so effective.
Almeida on for the point after. A 7-play, 64-yard scoring drive, capped off by the point after. So the Purple Raiders respond with a touchdown of their own, and we're off to the races. A 14-7 lead here in Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union back in the driver's seat with the touchdown. Jasper Collins, 2 touchdown receptions today. And we take a look at the Mount Union dominated program here in this Division III. We'll show you in a moment how dominant they have been. The numbers don't lie, but we'll kick it off first here with Almeida. And this is on the hop to Jeff Miles, who takes it at his own 5. And Miles able to stay up and pushed out at the 30. We get into the numbers that just tell you exactly how strong this program has been. National championships, they've got a ton of those. The winning streak here at home in Alliance, Ohio goes all the way back 7 years. And you just can't put it any other way. This is the team that sets the standard in Division III football, and they had an extended streak of shutouts this year. 6 shutouts in a row. They won't have one today, and here's a creative run by Ladero Bailey, who ran a lot east and west, but didn't get much.
Wow, you talk about speed at the right end position. Nigel Thomas, number 30, right end, just running down a quarterback that time. Bailey thought he could run away from him and had to cut back. A nice play on his part. Got it to feed back to his lot of purple shirts in the center of that football field.
Gain of 2 yards. Here's Darius Wilson trying to get some room inside. Not a whole lot, maybe a gain of 2 or 3.
Watch the fullback Hudson on the block as he leads up through here. You need that fullback slash guy. You see him coming around here. Nice block, open it up to the inside. Clearing out linebackers, and that's part of his job. Listed as that fullback slash halfback, but they certainly use him more like that fullback position.
3rd down and 6. Crusaders operating from their own 34-yard line. Trying to answer After the Purple Raiders get a go-ahead score. Pressure. And not anywhere to run for Ladero Bailey. He's got good feet, but that Purple Raider defensive front was there to just close him out.
Trying to confuse Bailey a little bit that time. The Mount Union defense all standing up at the line of scrimmage here prior to that snap, kind of moving around a bit, trying to confuse the offensive line, and you can see them finally getting to the quarterback. And again, key, I think, coming into this football game is which offensive line can protect their quarterback better and allow him to throw the football.
So the punt is coming. Denton will return this kick. And he drifts back to his own 24-yard line and gets tackled from behind at the 28. As we get a little up close and personal with the Mount Union Purple Raiders, their school profile here in Alliance, Ohio. Again, the hotbed of Division III football for so many years. They're in the Ohio Athletic Conference, and again with the experience of Larry Karras as their head coach, very focused on offense. He kind of lets his defensive coaches have a lot of space to work and work that way, but it's the offense that is their bread and butter, and the national titles, 10 of them. The seniors want one this year. They've got to win today, though, and here's a long opportunity for a first down run by Kevin Burke, and a flag before he got out of the pocket, so this might come back.
Looks like we're probably going to get a holding call, maybe on number 68, Matt Maddox, up front. He was already arguing with the official, so the flag may have hit him in the face. I don't know how you argue before the flag or before the call unless you know you did it.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Maddox, one of the more experienced players, two-time first-team All-Conference.
Yeah, you could see him right front. It wasn't just a hold, that was a nice tackle. Yeah, he was arguing with the official that time, and you kind of give yourself up a little bit when you do that.
Ball moves back to the 18-yard line after the penalty. First down markers at the 39, so they're looking at first down and 20. And they are going to keep on first down. This is Burke running. Gets back to maybe almost the original line of scrimmage, about 3 yards short, so they're going to have a second and long coming up here.
You know, Burke's an interesting guy. They wanted to get confidence. He's just a sophomore. They all stayed around this summer, worked hard with these wide receivers. The wide receivers weren't sure, could he get it done? Could this pass game be effective with him at a quarterback position? Well, it certainly has been effective, and he's gotten better through the entire year.
Our first quarter comes to a close, and we've got a home lead for the Purple Raiders over Mary Hardin Baylor, a 14-7 score. Our second quarter when we come back to Alliance, Ohio. Second quarter of football coming here with Mount Union leading Mary Hardin Baylor 14-7. We welcome you back to Alliance, Ohio. Dan Gutowski and John Gregory. And John, we expected a lot of offense. Let's talk about the Crusaders' defense. What have they done well so far?
Well, right now they got to find a way to get to the quarterback. Mount Union's been able to throw the football early in this football game. That first quarter, pretty impressive through the air. The Crusaders have got to find a way to get to that quarterback if they're going to be effective in this later in this game.
Jasper Collins with the 2 touchdown catches in the first quarter, but Purple Raiders will get it cranked up here, and they'll run on second down and 13. So again, they got a little ways to go to get the first down after the penalty. And they're working out of some not so friendly field position. Ball is spotted at about the 27-yard line. This will bring up 3rd and 11. Burke's going to throw on 3rd down, a little crossing route underneath. This is complete to Collins, and he gets forced out, but he is well short of that first down. And the punting unit will come on for the Purple Raiders, so a victory, if you will, for Mary Hardin Baylor's defense. They're getting the football back. punting is not something that Mount Union has to do very often. And Brandon Matty is their punter. And here's the punt. This is Jeff Miles drifting back, and he'll fair catch it at his own 27-yard line. A 42-yard punt. So not a dynamic start to the second quarter, John, for the Purple Raiders on offense. 3 and out, and the penalty hurts, but mission accomplished if you're Pete Friedenberg and the Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders on defense.
Yeah, and I think anytime you can get this Purple Raiders offense and 3 and out situation, that's a win for the defense, and now they got to capitalize that on the offensive side of the ball.
Bailey's pass is behind John Ross. Let's take a look at the paths to this Division III semifinal game today here in Alliance, Ohio. We mentioned that a lot of points already for the Crusaders in their 3 games. They kind of cooled off a little bit against Wesley last weekend. But still a prolific offense as Elijah Hudson runs here, and he gets gang tackled and stopped short of the 30-yard line. Diesel on the stop.
Well, the big guy in the middle, Diesel, and he'll bring it to you too. This guy can really lay it on you. Number 2, you can see great size, linebacker, 245 pounds, and one of the most vicious hitters on this team. He's a captain. He's definitely the most physical player on this Purple Raiders defense.
3rd down and 7 right now for the Crusaders of Mary Hardin Baylor, trying to stay up with Mount Union. Pressure, a little toss, and room to run inside for Darius Wilson. He gets out very close to a first down. It looks like he's got it by about a yard. Well, look at the creativity, John, for the Crusaders. That pressure came, but Bailey was ready for it, and a perfect play call at just the right time.
Yeah, when you're anticipating a blitz coming or pressure from the outside, nice shovel pass to the inside. Great delay here. Patience by the quarterback. Set up very well.
And now here's a run. And another opportunity for the Crusaders to keep crashing ahead on offense. Darius Wilson rumbles again.
It's amazing how different this offense is once they get into that rhythm that they love to do. They like to up-tempo it a little bit. Once they get that first down going, they seem to all find that one tempo and work together well.
Brings up 2nd down and 2. Wilson's going to try to run outside and get enough for a first down, almost to midfield.
Wilson picks up a first down.
Just enough to keep Mount Union's defense off balance. We haven't seen the Crusaders come through with any real huge plays offensively yet. 1st and 10, ball right at midfield for Mary Hardin Baylor. And Wilson gets his number called again, straight up the gut.
Stopped by Driscoll.
I think from a game plan perspective, when you're talking about this Crusaders offense, their last scoring drive, they rushed the ball 10 times out of the 11 plays, and they've been effective on the ground. And I think with doing that, they can keep this Mount Union offense off the field and maybe some points off the scoreboard because of that.
Darius Wilson now has 9 rushes for 50 yards. This is 2nd and 6. And they're going to throw a sharp pass that is incomplete. A hard throw by Bailey over the middle.
Intended for Miles, 3rd down 6.
Jeff Miles was the intended receiver, but he couldn't hang on.
Nick Driscoll, the defensive back again. You can see how quick he breaks on the football. He's a guy that doesn't get beat very often, but a guy that really covers well from that safety position.
3rd and 6 now at the 46-yard line. Crusaders want to keep this drive going and keep Mount Union's offense on the sideline. Bailey's going to throw lots of time. A swing pass underthrown for Elijah Hudson, incomplete. But a flag where Ladero Bailey threw that football from.
And they're going to get right tackle Sam Maxey that time with holding, number 67. All out there right in front of the referee.
Holding. Offense, number 67. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
4th down and 6 for the Crusaders.
So they're going to go for it, John, on 4th and 6.
You can see on the right-hand side of your screen the holding call here, but Crusaders going for it on 4th down.
Now they change the play call at the line of scrimmage.
Could be a quick kick here, quick kick by the quarterback.
And they moved too fast anyway as Jeff Miles jumped off sides. So that didn't really unfold the way they thought it was going to.
No, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything because I believe they were going to punt it anyway.
Offense.
If you looked at the quarterback, he was backed up a little bit.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
He was backed up a little bit more than usual, so I think they were going to punt it away anyway. So let your punter do it.
So that will bring Chad Peavy on to punt. And Chris Denson will roll back to receive this punt inside his own 20. And the Purple Raiders end this drive. And he'll return it and get outside. A little bit of running room up the sideline. Look at this opportunity, and they get outside the 40. Chris Denton finding a little bit of soft spot in that coverage there. A 28-yard return. And we'll take a timeout here. Mount Union with the football when we come back. And a 14-7 lead here in this Division III semifinal. Back here, a 14-7 lead for Mount Union at home. And here's Jasper Collins, a big day already for him, John. 2 touchdown catches.
Yeah, talked about his speed at the very top, his ability to go up and then run great routes. That was a slant corner. He's got soft hands at the end. Great ability, love his talent, and get the ball in his hands as much as possible.
So he's already making his presence felt, and now with Purple Raiders back on offense, let's see if they can build their lead. They will throw near side. That's for Julius Moore. And a good tackle turns that play into a loss.
Mount Union's offense talks about balance all the time. That's the 21st play of the game that time. 11 rush plays. That's the 10th pass play. So they've continued with that balance in this football game.
It's a loss of 3 yards on 1st down, so a little bit more work to do for Kevin Burke, who's got time to throw here. In the middle, complete. So the 1st down is not quite there. That's Shannon Stewart, the tight end, on the catch. About 2 yards short of a 1st down.
Well, Stewart, we talked about moving him the inside receiver that time, and gets to the inside, comes across wide open on the outside.
And a fumble on the snap, and the scramble for the football. The Purple Raiders cannot cover it, or do they? Plot finally goes out of bounds, but it's going to be a huge loss on that play. Look at the high snap here for Kevin Burke. Mac Nicely, the center, put too much heat on that snap, and it's a 28-yard loss.
But fortunately for this Mount Union offense, they were able to get on that ball and get it out of bounds before that Crusaders defense got their 2nd turnover of the day.
So it's 4th down and 30. And it is punting time for Mount Union. Jeff Miles is the return man. They're going to get good field possession, especially after a very, very poor punt. And the Crusaders are going to get the football at the 44-yard line of Mount Union. A weird turn of events. Timeout here as our 2nd quarter continues. The Crusaders with the football when we come back. A 1-touchdown lead here from Mount Union, but Mary Hardin Baylor able to take advantage of an early turnover and get some offense out of it.
Get the fumble there and take advantage of it. Quick pitch to the outside. They do it outside, then they go inside to Hudson at the end. Physical runner, he gets pounded, but
A deep throw on the first play on this drive, intended for Jeff Miles. A little too strong from Ladero Bailey, and they were very aggressive after getting the good field position.
they didn't get a turnover, but they got a bad punt that time. They went up top, and as you mentioned, that's the first time they've really tried to stretch this Purple Raiders defense, and they do that. Maybe it backs off some guys a little bit, and they get that shorter throw to the outside.
And since that score that we just saw for the Crusaders, they've picked up 31 yards on offense on those subsequent 2 drives. And they've punted twice, so their offense is not operating at quite the high level that Mount Union's is. And 2 broken pass plays bring up 3rd down.
You see Bailey's numbers there, just 2 of 8 on the day. Remember, he came into this football game 2nd in the country in passing efficiency, 191% passing efficiency rating.
And they've missed on their last 4 passes. And 3rd down, here's a long ball, and it is too far. Intended for John Wass, going down the far sideline, but Purple Raiders defense may have to stay on the field for another play. They may go for it here on 4th down.
Well, last time they lined up in this situation, looked like they wanted to do a quick hit, ended up jumping offside, so let's see if they actually try a play this time.
Elijah Hudson is in the backfield with Ladero Bailey. Baylor will take the quick punt, no one deep for Mount Union, and the ball will take a hop and go out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So the Crusaders can do nothing with the excellent field position that they had. 3 and out, and Mount Union could have the football and bring their offense back on the field.
I like what the Crusaders offense did, trying to go up top after that bad punt situation there, get a quick score. You see so many teams having success doing that. Just a little bit overthrown that time by their quarterback, or they may have had an opportunity to score.
Surprised, John, they went 3 pass plays on that drive. The first one aggressive, you can understand that, but interesting that they didn't try to run the football.
And that's why 1st down is so key for this football team today. Pick up yardage and make it manageable.
1st down run here as the Purple Raiders keep pushing. And that's Blair Skilleter. He's listed as a quarterback, but coaches told us that they like to bring him over onto offense and use his speed and athleticism, and that's run to perfection right there for big yardage.
Well, he's got 12 touchdowns rushing this year, and he's averaging 6.5 yards when he does run the football.
17-yard gain there, and here's Kevin Burke running. He gets popped after he gets a 1st down pickup. So the Purple Raiders starting to do some very good things on the ground. Ball at the 47.
Burke got popped, as you mentioned, at the end of that run. It looked like he wanted to continue. Then he thought, maybe I should just get down here and get my composure back.
1 hit is enough. Here's Skilleter running near side and can't get outside of the containment there. And that tackle's by Mike Maldonado.
Effective use of Skilleter, as we mentioned, one of the fastest guys on this football team. So they use him from that slot position. Call him a running back, bring him around, but 87 rushes on the year. Not afraid to get him, and nice to see a 2-way player right there and how effective he is on both sides of the football.
2nd down and 6. Skilleter inside, and white jerseys all over him. And they stop him. Maybe a gain of 1.
Sylvia Diaz up front that time, their big defensive tackle. Nowhere to go up front. The big body was just right there, plow in the middle.
3rd down and 7. 2 high-powered offenses coming together today, but the defenses are making things tough in this Division III semifinal. Play fake by Burke and a pass in the middle, and nobody was there for the Purple Raiders, and this drive is going to end.
Andy McAteer, their linebacker that time, able to finally get to the quarterback. And if you can get in Burke's face, not a tall guy at 5'10", just got to get in his face, distract him a little bit. He was talking to his receiver. Maybe there was miscommunication that side, but I think this Crusaders defense was able to get in the face of Burke and really affect that throw.
Jeff Miles is set to return. This fake punt, and it's a keep. The Purple Raiders are going to come up short. It's defended extremely well. The ball carrier was Nick Driscoll on the fake, but the range and the containment was there for the Crusaders, and they snuff it out.
Well, you got to love the confidence in these coaches. You know, they've been there, done that before. They've been to this championship so much. They're not afraid to break out everything, take all the opportunities. They know championship game is one play away possibly, and certainly one win away, but they're not afraid to try anything in this football game.
Yeah, Pete Friedenberg there, not going to leave anything on the table. And it's great field position now. And here's a run opportunity. Ladero Bailey still pushing inside to about the 40-yard line. And sometimes those special teams plays, they go either way. Obviously, it's a big hit if you get it. But for the Crusaders, John, you got to think this is kind of a spark plug for them to maybe exploit.
Absolutely. It's almost, you almost feel like it's a turnover in that situation. You know, got great field position. You have to take advantage of it.
Power run, Elijah Hudson. Inside. Maybe a gain of 2 yards.
Colton Bridges making a stop for Mount Union.
The winner gets a 7 o'clock game this Friday in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl in Salem, Virginia, right here on ESPNU. Second down and 9. And Hudson's going to try to run wide, and he gets taken down by a couple of Purple Raider jerseys.
Yeah, led by the Diesel on the outside. We mentioned his physical ability as a hitter, and he was able to come up that time again and lay a pop on a running back. Well, it's early in this football game. We'll see how many guys we have standing at the end of this thing, because it has been physical.
So the ball is spotted at just outside the 35-yard line. 3rd down and 6. The Crusaders' only score came after they recovered a Mount Union fumble in the first quarter. And here's Bailey trying to escape, and down he goes. Too much pressure. Second sack of the game by the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Matt Fetchko, you see him to the inside fighting to get to the quarterback. But there, he's a guy that'll find a way to get there, knock passes down, but that's his 9th tackle for a loss on the year.
A 6-yard loss puts him back to the 42-yard line. And a timeout taken by the visitors from Mary Hardin Baylor. And we'll take a break here in Alliance, Ohio. The Division III semifinals. The home team leading by. Still college football here. This Division III semifinal game. Mount Union, a 1-touchdown lead over Mary Hardin Baylor. John, the interesting part of this game is the competitive aspect. For Mount Union especially, a lot of these games have been pretty much in the bag by halftime, but the visitors from Mary Hardin Baylor have really proved to be a handful, and they are punting right now here with about 4:20 left in our first half. And what a big, high punt. And it is dropped and recovered at the 10-yard line by the Crusaders. And they will take advantage perhaps of another fumble. That's how they scored their first touchdown, off the fumble. And now the punt coverage breaks down. And the Crusaders are in business with great field position.
Well, you mentioned the wind at the top of the show, 12 miles an hour coming out of the west. That time kind of blowing the football a little bit away from Skilleter, and all of the good that Skilleter does on the football team. That time the ball gets away from him a little bit and may have cost his team here, assuming that the Crusaders can put something on the board.
So Ladero Bailey will come back after a very short timeout. Ball at the 10-yard line. And here's a run ahead by Elijah Hudson, still pushing inside the 5, and he gets the end zone for a touchdown. Power running at its best.
Now take a look. Up the middle, who's better right now? One missed tackle, a second missed tackle, and the third, he just ran over him. 4 guys tried to stop him that time, and he just wanted a little bit more. Give Hudson all the credit. Watch him put his head down at the end. Nobody was going to deny him this touchdown.
He goes 5'10", 185 pounds, and there's Blair Skilleter, who's kicking himself. So two turnovers lead to 2 touchdowns, and this football game is dead even at 14 here with just over 4 minutes left to go in this Division III semifinal. There's Elijah Hudson's numbers. 2 rushing touchdowns. A power runner extraordinaire, at least today. He and Darius Wilson carry the load rushing for the Crusaders, and they work well together.
And you mentioned at the very top, they call him a middle runner, downhill runner. Well, that was some downhill running there, and he just wanted it a little bit more. He wanted it to get into that end zone, and boy, impressed with his physical ability to run the ball down by the goal line at just 5'10", 185 pounds.
Pete Friedenberg, again, the first time he came here to Alliance, Ohio, his team won. So not too worried about playing and winning here on the road. And there's the touchdown maker, Elijah Hudson, for the Crusaders from Mary Hardin Baylor, coming all the way from Benton, Texas. Weather a little bit nicer than they expected, I think. But it's not Texas nice. A pretty short kick, and they creep up from the 15 to catch it. And Julius Moore on the return, not much after he grabs it. As we take a look at the brackets, again, only 4 teams left competing here in the Division III championship. And the winner of this game will get to Friday's championship game, 7 o'clock on ESPNU in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl. So, again, as we referenced early, John, it's the seniors for Mount Union. Been to that championship game each of the last 3 years. They come away with no championships. And the offense starting now with a tackle and a big sack as Kevin Burke gets taken down, an ankle tackle at about the 16-yard line. This Crusaders defense feeding off the offense.
Yeah, don't you love it that decision who's going to the championship game is decided on the football field? Those seniors have an opportunity to earn their way there and win their way there. Taking a look at the Crusaders rush here. Good speed on the outside. Jones, we mentioned at the very top, 125 tackles coming into this football game. Very active defensive back.
Pass in the middle, that's caught. Jasper Collins still going and finally tackled, but after a first down pickup. Collins has been the touchdown maker for Mount Union with 2 first quarter catches in the end zone.
Well, Coach Karras, pretty smart man as a head coach and offensive coordinator all these years. When you're having trouble, why not find Junior Collins? Get the ball to him any way you can. 5 receptions, 94 yards on the day, and a couple touchdowns.
He just gets 23 on that catch, and here's Skilleter on the run to the end, but he gets pushed back. The containment was there for Mary Hardin Baylor.
Now it's interesting, outside of the turnovers, this entire football game really almost feels like it's been played between the 35-yard lines. Everything in the center of the field, both teams willing to either go for it on 4th down, fake a punt, or quick kick it right in between, right when they're on the 50. So this thing's all been played right in the center of this field.
2nd and 7, Burke throws a high ball, intercepted. Another turnover. The throw was to Jasper Collins, but the coverage was right there, and the pick by Javice Jones, the sack, and now the interception.
And no wonder why he set the record at the school. This is his 8th interception of the year. You don't find wide receivers with hands that good.
A dangerous throw leads to a turnover, and Mary Hardin Baylor, as we take a look at the numbers for Javice Jones, the senior from Katy, Texas. They don't retire jerseys down there, but boy, that guy could certainly have his number in the proverbial football rafters, if you will. And here's the offense again for the Crusaders. A completion on first down. Jeff Miles forced out of bounds after the throw from Ladero Bailey. First down pickup.
And a good call offensively, I think, to try to roll your quarterback, get him away from that pressure that Mount Union certainly wants to put on him to the outside. So they're starting to get him to move a little bit in combination with the strong run game.
And here's the run again. Elijah Hudson powering his way to almost the 25. What a different emotional environment now for Mount Union. Their playoff run and their season has been filled with so many one-sided games. It's hard to even figure out when they've had a halftime locker room that was concerned about the outcome. This is Darius Wilson pounding away inside. So lots to talk about for Larry Karras at halftime when he gets his Purple Raiders in the locker room. Right now, John, he's just hoping that this game stays tied at 14.
Yeah, Vince Karras, the defensive coordinator, was talking about the speed on this Mary Hardin Baylor offense and what they have, and that's what they're getting right now, a dose of speed.
And here's Hudson pushing ahead. Ball was at the 18. He gets down to about the 15.
Well, they've been effective inside with Elijah Hudson running down by the goal line and with Darius Wilson to the inside. Here's where it becomes a little bit dangerous when they fake to the inside to that fullback Hudson, and then quarterback keeps it and use that option off of the end.
2nd down and 6. The Crusaders trying to cash in after the interception and get some go-ahead points here. This is Darius Wilson. Stays up down to the 5-yard line.
Wilson again on the carry.
The clock will stop. And it's 1st and goal now for the visitors from Mary Hardin Baylor. And they're going to take a time. There's a timeout on the field. And we'll stay here in Mount Union Stadium. And John, the question also becomes an issue of maybe stamina defensively for Mount Union. This is not a defense that is used to staying on the field for extended amounts of time. I know we got a lot of football left to go, but as this game goes on, there's a lot of different story angles that this Mount Union team has not had to explore this year.
Yeah, example last week, holding on to the football for 38 minutes, but you know the weather seems to be in their favor as far as that side. But right now, I think their biggest concern is can they slow these white shirts down? Couple turnovers have really changed this entire dynamic of the football team. And these fans here that came all the way up from Texas, they're really behind this football team for these Crusaders.
And you can see that Mount Union's rushing attack has really tailed off in that second quarter, whereas the Crusaders pretty much dead even between the first and second quarters, averaging about 4.7 yards per carry for every rushing attempt. And there's a lot of anxious Mount Union fans here in Alliance, Ohio, as their team could be on the cusp of going into the locker room with a deficit. High ball in the end zone. It is tapped away. That could have been a Purple Raider interception. Pass intended for Caleb Moore, but
yeah, and Caleb Moore does a nice job of going up and playing defense here. That ball was just thrown up, and he was able maybe to just get his arm on the defender enough to be able to get that ball away from him, but a scary throw that time for Bailey.
Isaiah Scott was the could have been interception guy, and it's 2nd down and 5. And it's a keep. This is Bailey on the run and stopped. Almost got in, but he fell down at about the 1. And the game clock is still rolling. And the Crusaders take a timeout.
We mentioned them going to the inside, running the fullback up the middle, and the outside may be a dangerous spot for Mount Union's defense. They tried to go to it that time, and Bailey had the option to pitch it to the outside, and he keeps it, comes up a couple yards short, but they did have that option on the outside that time where he could have let that pitch go.
Well, they're going to have 2 shots at the end zone here, 3rd and goal, ball spotted at the 2-yard line. So, again, a strange environment for Mount Union as they are not used to potential game-changing plays in the second quarter of a football game. The turnovers, the huge part of this football game, the turnovers committed by Mount Union. Here's the fumble in the first quarter.
A physical play defensively, and here, kind of a mental mistake. Got that fair catch going. If you can't get to that football, it's better off just leaving it alone. And again, that is just a great play by one of the best defensive players in the country in Jones.
This drive started at the 49-yard line of the Purple Raiders after the interception. Ball is at the 2-yard line here on 3rd and goal. And now Mount Union wants a timeout.
First charge timeout.
So a little bit of a chess game going on. Mount Union's defense needs to figure out how to react effectively here.
Yeah, and I think it was a good decision to call timeout there, give yourself an opportunity to see what type of formation that this crew offense was going to come out with. And right now, I love the way that Bailey can run the football. If they can motion out to an empty backfield, maybe somehow get those linebackers out of there, get an opportunity to run a quarterback sneak. He's got that ability. So either that, you're going to have to get up quick and do something on 4th down, or you have to throw this in the end zone to be able to stop the clock.
We mentioned this is not the kind of game that Mount Union is usually involved in. Close games are not the norm. They're the opposite. Look at that streak of shutouts. 6 straight games where they haven't even allowed a point in those games. And recently it's changed just a little bit. But a defense that has been so strong is being challenged big time right now. 3rd and goal from the 2. And here's the quarterback keep. Ladero Bailey, they say it's a touchdown. A go-ahead score for Ladero Bailey and Mary Hardin, Baylor's Crusaders.
Now they went to the option play again, this time to the right side, and just pure speed option to the outside. Only needed about 2 yards for that touchdown, 2.5 yards, and Bailey stuck his head down here at the end. Needed to get that. No timeouts remaining, so that clock would have been running. He had to get that ball across that goal line.
Game clock shows 17 seconds left as the Crusaders line up for the point after. And Mount Union's road to the championship game on Friday night is getting tougher and tougher with every possession in this football game. And as you saw that graphic, this is the most points that Mount Union has given up in an entire game this year, John. The officials are going to review the touchdown and make sure he got over. From that angle, I don't see a good opportunity. This one should be better. Well, the official that's coming towards us in the monitor signals touchdown. So, again, it's up to the review booth to change that if they deem it appropriate. Look and see if his knee's down there.
Yeah. Well, the knee was definitely down. It was just about where the ball was at that particular time, but his left knee was down, and I don't know if they've got enough conclusive evidence there to change that, but tough to see all those bodies to the inside.
At the very least, for Mary Hardin Baylor, they will have a 4th down opportunity to try and get another shot at the touchdown.
And the coaches are on the sideline talking about that right now. Surprised they're talking with the team, assuming that maybe it's going to be a 4th down situation and what they're going to do here. But they're certainly talking about that right now, what they're going to do from a team standpoint. You can see his knee on the ground right there.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown, Mary Hardin Baylor.
So the points stay on the board for the Crusaders.
Too many bodies, I think, inside there to be able to determine whether or not where that ball was. And once you make the call of the touchdown and you can't overrule it, you have to stay with it.
And the point after by Chad Peavy is right through, and it's a 7-point lead for Pete Friedenberg and Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. There's the scoring drive that again started after a Mount Union turnover, 3 of them in the first half. So a lot of work to do for Larry Karras in the Purple Raiders locker room as Pete Friedenberg enjoyed his first trip to Alliance, Ohio, regardless of the snow.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting when they see the locker room. That may be the first time because this football team doesn't get here until about an hour before the game. They tape at the hotel, and they get their pants on at the hotel, and they drive to the stadium and go out on the football field to warm up. So it doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the locker room. They'll spend more at halftime than they do in pregame.
And, John, what would your guess be as to why Pete Friedenberg operates that way with his pregame routine?
Well, I think he wants that up-tempo. You know, we talked with some people and they said he likes to get there at the very end. He doesn't want guys sitting around. He doesn't even like to come out for the national anthem a lot of times just because they're standing there. So that's a philosophy of his, and he's kept that for 15 years.
So Skilleter will take the kickoff and try to make some magic, but he is down with 11 seconds left, and the ball is going to be spotted at about the 35-yard line for the Purple Raiders. So 2 high-powered offenses come together, and it's a turnover battle that is being won by the Crusaders, and that's why they're up by 7 points here with what could be our last play of the first half with Kevin Burke under center. He'll air it out near side. Ball is underthrown, out of bounds, and we'll get one more play. Julius Moore, the intended receiver. We'll look at the Heisman Trophy candidates who are assembling in New York to maybe get some hardware coming home with them tonight. As we, again, will have a lot of reflection on the first half of this game. Very competitive. Here's Skilleter. Nope, it's a keep for Kevin Burke. And he gets tackled in open field and brought down to finish our first half of football. And it is a revved up team in the white and purple jerseys from Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. A 7-point lead here in Alliance, Ohio over Mount Union. Halftime when we come back in this Division III semifinal. A halftime speech in the locker room. Those are about done. We're getting set for our start of third quarter football here. Mary Hardin Baylor leading Mount Union. The winner plays Friday night in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl in Salem, Virginia. Well, the pedigree of this Mount Union football program, some great players, starting first with Pierre Garçon, who is starting his college career at Norwich, then transferred here and just came on like gangbusters in the time he was here. Eventually got drafted by the Colts in the 6th round of the 2008 draft, and now he's currently with the Washington Redskins. So big plays from him. Cecil Shorts, 4,700 plus receiving yards, 63 touchdowns in his career, and Nate Kimmick, and he was a great player for them as well. Look at that speed and energy that he played with in the semifinal game of his career. His career rushing total number got bumped to almost 8,000 yards, 8,074 to be exact. So that's the legacy that these players right now for Mount Union are playing against, and they are not very happy with the position they're in right now. It's the games and the wins have just been piling up all season long, but they have got their hands full today, and the 3 first-half turnovers, a huge factor in this 21-14 score right now that has Mary Hardin 2 quarters away from maybe playing again Friday night in Salem, Virginia. And Mount Union's locker room, I'm sure, had a much different tone and demeanor than they normally do for every other game. Here's our first half stats. And the turnover battle is critical.
And look at that number right there, 21 points off for turnovers. That's the key to this football game. We mentioned it a little while ago, and you just can't have that. Mount Union is not a team that turns the ball over very often, but that's the whole thing in this football game, and got to give this Crusaders offense credit for going down and taking advantage of that. Not all teams can do it against this Mount Union defense.
This is the NCAA Division III football championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. This is the first of 2 semifinal games, and the winners that advance today are meeting Friday nights at 7 p.m. in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl in Salem, Virginia. And there's the head coach Larry Karras for the Purple Raiders. And there's the brackets. And again, the winners are going to have a short turnaround. And they'll be feeding off of a lot of adrenaline and energy and everything else you'd normally get when you're playing football in mid-December, regardless of the level. And the meeting between these 2 teams was back in 2004. And Pete Friedenberg was on hand for that game. He would love a finish like the one he had 8 years ago here in Alliance, Ohio. Kickoff to start this 3rd quarter of football. Mary Hardin Baylor will return. And the kickback, or the return, will end with Darius Wilson on the return. And the coin toss was won in the first half by the Crusaders, and they're going to take advantage and get their offense going here. So a subdued crowd here in Alliance, Ohio for these Purple Raider football games. You know, sometimes, John, they get a little bit comfortable winning the way that they do. Not the team, talking about the fans. So sometimes it's hard to get fans all invested in a game like this.
Yeah, well, with a 54-2 record at home in the playoffs, you can understand why. This, you said, but this is a bunch of intelligent fans in the state of Ohio. They know their football, and they know they need to back this team right now. Not used to being in this corner, and they're going to fight their way out. And they already got a break to start this second half with blocking the back here for this Crusaders return team.
Ball at the 9-yard line on first down. Ladero Bailey will keep and get some good yardage, about 6 yards to almost the 15-yard line. 3 rushing touchdowns for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. 2 receiving touchdowns for the Purple Raiders for Jasper Collins, but they don't like the numbers on the scoreboard that they see. Here's another power run off tackle, and that's Elijah Hudson. And they move the chains to get a first down on their first possession of this 3rd quarter.
Well, go back to what you had success with in the first half and see if this Purple Raiders defense has made any adjustments. Very tough to stop this spread offense.
Ladero Bailey on the keep, and he gets upended at about the 26-yard line. And a question strategically, John, for Mary Hardin Baylor. Listen to this hit. Pads meet pads with a lot of noise coming out of that tackle. But really ball control becomes a big factor here for the Crusaders as they try to manage the clock effectively. They get nothing on that play, but playing with a lead is a lot different than when you're playing from behind, even in a game like this.
Yeah, but I think it's still so early in this football game to start that second half. These teams just need to stick with their game plan, of course. I mean, you're just talking about a one-touchdown game right here, and you're not going to get off what you've been trying to do in that first half. Anything could happen. It was the turnovers that were the big difference. So for this Crusaders offense, they need to stay what they had the success with in that first half.
This is 3rd and 7. Pressure on Bailey, and over the middle, it's complete, but short of a first down.
It'll be 4th down and 1.
And the reception is not enough to give them a first down.
Well, you can see Reineke coming across the middle that time. It was actually a fake screen to the left, and then he looked to the right. Another word, like he was going to fake it to the right as well. Tried to catch their receiver over the middle of the football field and came up a little bit short.
So they only get 5 yards on the reception, and it brings up 4th and 2. Chris Denton is standing at his own 36 on the return, and the kick takes a hop, and no return as it goes out of bounds to Mount Union. The Purple Raiders on offense when we come back trailing by 7 in this Division III semifinal game. So the offense is on the field now for the home team from Mount Union, trailing. Something that hardly ever happens, at least this year. And here's a run on first down, and they get TJ Lattimore in space, and a flag thrown behind the run. So he picks up good yardage, but where is this penalty going to take the football? And given the
holding offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
So instead of getting positive yardage, they go the wrong way. That's on Antonio Tate, the senior left tackle from Cleveland.
Well, you see TJ Lattimore carrying the football this time. That's the first time he's touched the ball since he actually fumbled it in that first half. So they know they have to get him involved in this football game if they're going to plan on coming back. They just can't do it through the air, and he's got to be one of those guys that they can get some yards on the ground.
First down at 16 and a high throw. Jasper Collins cut off his route, and that ball sails harmlessly into the Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders bench as Kevin Burke's numbers fairly effective today in the passing game, but again, the one interception led to a Crusader touchdown. Second down at 16, ball at the 26. Burke's going to keep it and run it. And he will avoid contact and pick up pretty good yardage out to almost the 38. So he gets 12 yards on the scramble.
And there was that same kind of two-deep man under coverage this time. The outside, they had two safeties over the top, and you can see white shirts chasing the purple. And when they do that, it just opens it up for the quarterback. And Burke's got good speed, able to put him in a third down and manageable situation here.
Third down and 4. Burke will throw, intercepted. A step-in takeaway, and here's an opportunity and a touchdown, Broderick Kane. Another turnover leads to a pick-6, and now it could be a 2-touchdown lead for Mary Hardin Baylor. 42 yards on the interception return for a touchdown.
You can see the confidence in his eyes right there. The coaches say he's the best cover corner on this football team, and almost had one earlier in the first series of the games. That time he read Burke's eyes, and he just immediately pounced on it and took it to the end zone. But that's why they call him the best cornerback cover guy in this football team.
Kevin Burke's second interception leads to 6 points on the same play, and now it's a 28-14 lead for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders, who throw another knockout punch at Mount Union. For third quarter football in a moment. The Crusaders expand their lead after the pick six, 28-14 now. And boy, this crowd from Texas that's supporting Mary Hardin Baylor is just finding more and more to cheer about. And Larry Karras and the Purple Raiders continue to have to figure out how they can get this game back on track. 4 turnovers lead to 28 points, and that's why the Purple Raiders are in trouble. Here's the return by Julius Moore, wrapped up, falls ahead to about the 27. And remember offensively, as we touched on Kevin Burke, the sophomore quarterback from Westlake, Ohio, only a sophomore. He's got a lot on his shoulders right now with the pressure and anxiety of now having to come from behind, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he hasn't faced much adversity through the year. 34 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions coming into the football game. So how is he going to handle that now? Is he going to step up, or going to learn from those mistakes?
Well, he doesn't get much on that play that kind of broke down. 1 of 6 in his last throws, and 2 of those were interceptions. And we showed you earlier about the dominance that Mount Union has had playing here at home. This is the first time since 2005 that they have trailed at halftime of a non-Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl game. So when they're at home, they are not used to trailing.
No, and the one thing I think offensively right now that could help Kevin Burke out a little bit is get some type of a running game. We're only talking about this Mount Union team being down by 2 touchdowns, and we saw how quickly they could score in that first series of this game. So I think right now Kevin Burke's best friend, maybe a running game, kind of settle him down a little bit.
Yeah, Jasper Collins has 2 touchdown catches, but those seem like a long time ago, and they wanted to pass to Julius Moore on the far side, but it's incomplete. And it brings up 4th down for the Purple Raiders. And again, a hot start. But the turnovers started to snowball and things have headed south for Mount Union. And they will punt on 4th and 7. And this is Jeff Myers calling for the fair catch. And it is down to about the 35-yard line. So every mistake has benefited the visitors from Mary Hardin Baylor.
And I like to go back, you're talking about the senior quarterback for this Crusaders offense versus a sophomore quarterback in Bailey. The guy that they've talked about all year that has put them in the right positions, whether it's a run-pass call at the line of scrimmage, and he's making all the right decisions, and that all came from a development over time. It wasn't something that came easy to him. He's worked extremely hard at it, and you can see the success he's having today leading this team.
This is Miles trying to run around the end, but the Purple Raiders saw that coming from Cleveland, and they denied that play from developing, so that's going to be a loss.
And again, sometimes coaches, they get a little bit of a lead and they get away from what's been successful that time, trying to run a little bit of a reverse. This is a team that runs that power football right up the middle on you with their fullback and then run that option off of it. And off of both of those things, if you're having success in that run, it's easier to throw it. So they don't need to get away with what they've had success early in this game.
That's a 4-yard loss, 2nd down and 14. And a power run. This is Elijah Hudson, who's got 2 rushing touchdowns. And he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 4.
Upended there by Frank Ortega, and Ted Wasalvi.
They give him 5 yards, and it's 3rd and 9 from the 36. The turnover battle is the dominant theme in this Division III semifinal football game. 4 turnovers by the Purple Raiders for 28 points for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. Purple Raiders might want to crash that turnover party and get 1 or 2 of their own.
They certainly could have get one here, and if they do that, this place will erupt, and that may turn things around.
Pressure on Bailey. He unloads, but boy, he was really in danger of taking a significant sack.
Ladero Bayley.
The pressure on him by the front four has been tremendous.
And this team only gave up 12.
In the area.
Fourth down and
Matt Fetchko was the one who was ready to put the wraps on that play.
I was saying this team offensive line only has given up 12 sacks coming into this year. So if this Mount Union defense can somehow find a way to get to Bailey and disrupt him, kind of make them one-dimensional. They're very dangerous when they can both run and pass. You have to try to find a way to make them do one or the other.
Peavy gets a big foot into that punt. Chris Denton goes way back and he'll return it. And he almost gets tackled and finally brought down, but a late flag.
he ended on the return.
He's down at about the 15. We'll see who the flag is on, though.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team number 4. Half the distance to the goal, first down Mount Union.
So the flag is on Hank Spencer, and there it is.
Yeah, you can see it clearly, number 4. Right in the back, take a look. Right there.
First down, Mount Union. Ball at the Purple Raider 8.
Ball goes back to the 8-yard line, 1st and 10. And Burke is in the shotgun. He's going to throw. And now he'll run. And he had a couple receivers running deep routes down the field, but he held it and was able to generate some yards rushing.
Yeah, they were trying to get protection for the quarterback that time. They kind of max protected, kept everybody in. Jasper Collins was the guy that ran the post pattern that time. Early in the game, I think Burke would have thrown that with confidence. Now I think he's a little bit gun shy. He had the opportunity one-on-one with Collins. You have to trust that he's going to go up and make that catch.
2nd and 6. He'll hold it and throw it too high. Intended for Jasper Collins, but out of bounds. And even a good throw would have been a very difficult catch.
Take a look at Julius Moore this time. Again, the post pattern. You have to trust in a quarterback that you're going to get, that you believe that you can get the ball to somebody. And right now it seems like Burke is either one, looking at the rush, wondering, he's got a little bit of happy feet back there. He's got to trust his ability to find his receivers.
Time to throw, and Collins cannot hold it. Incomplete. Ball was pretty well thrown, but the coverage was there for the Crusaders. And Mary Hardin Baylor's defense steps up and forces a 4th down punt.
Yeah, and Collins could not come down with that throw, and Kevin Burke will tell you he thought probably that ball got away from a little bit too high in that situation. Early in this game he had all the confidence, and I was saying how I love the way he throws strikes to receivers, whether it was the corner or the soft throw across the middle. That one a little bit up and away.
Maddie will punt, this one taken and caught by Jeff Miles, and a good open field tackle right after the catch. A timeout here in Alliance, Ohio. An exciting 3rd quarter of football. Mount Union trailing by 2 touchdowns to Mary Hardin Baylor.
Let's go! Yo, it's up here. It's up here, baby. It's up here, baby. Keep eating.
A lot of emotion on that sideline. That's Jared Favorite, the senior from Florida, trying to make sure that the defense knows that, hey, we're not done yet. Lots of football left here with Bailey on offense, and the run stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Darius Wilson on the carry. And to talk about winning the field position battle, John, the average drive for the Crusaders has started at their own 41-yard line.
Field position and turnovers. When you're on the road, if you can win those 2 battles right there, chances are you can walk away with a win.
2nd down and 10. And a handoff to Elijah Hudson. That gets maybe 3 or 4 yards.
On the carry, Nigel Thomas, first there for Mount Union. Along with Charles Diesel, 3rd down 7.
Charles Diesel helping on the tackle. It brings up 3rd and 6. Bailey keeps on the option and gets the first down. He's very close. Depends on where they mark him. His knee hit first before he hit the turf. They're saying it's 4th and 1. They're not going to even measure. So it's at the 36-yard line.
Speed option to the outside. You can see it. Again, Bailey scored his touchdown earlier on that same design down by the goal line.
And they hurry up and run. They stop him on 4th down. The play never developed. And Elijah Hudson tried to get outside. No dice, and it's Crusaders giving up the football to Mount Union.
Not necessarily the guy you want to try to get to the outside in Hudson. He's the guy you want to run between the tackles, but great penetration that time defensively by Frank Ortega. And he gives his defense the opportunity now to get some points on the ball, on the board with some better field position.
It's a small victory, but an important one right now for the Purple Raiders. And they hand off. And here's Skilleter trying to skip outside. Gain of maybe 3 yards. We talk about the offenses. We knew this wouldn't be a 70-point game. However, Mount Union started off very well. They averaged 9 yards of play on 1st down in the first quarter. Since then, it's just barely over 3 yards. And a power run as Skilleter gets the call again, very close to the 1st down.
Boy, and watch how this offense mindset changes a little bit. If they go back to this run game and they have success there, then the opportunities open up for their big receivers and the speed on the outside. But right now, I think they're doing what they need to do, and that's just pound it on the ground.
And the tempo has changed. Mount Union working it. Here's Skilleter on the end. Boy, very physical. And he gets to the 45, and Mount Union, a little smash mouth football, maybe to calm down their quarterback, Kevin Burke, but they got to do whatever they can now to make a run at the Crusaders.
Yeah, it's amazing how smash mouth football will get the fans involved with it too, and this crowd now a little bit lively when they're on offense. They've been quiet since the second quarter, and they're into it now.
1st down and 10. And the handoff is for Skilleter. He is met by a swarm of white jerseys led by Deshaun Kinsey, the sophomore from Woodway, Texas.
And you're right, a lot of white shirts. One of the things they talked about was being able to rally to the football, get as many players there, and make some tackles. Don't give up those busted tackles and busted players.
2nd and 11, it's a 1-yard loss. Huge pressure coming on Kevin Burke, and he gets taken down. How about that push by Silvio Diaz, the junior from Leander, Texas? That was his sack, and he just took it.
Well, you could see his speed. 16 tackles for losses coming to this football game. 8 sacks coming in, both. And led this football team to team records, and you could see the speed he has at great size, 260 pounds. That's the second time we've seen him dancing in the backfield.
So this brings up 3rd down and 21. And again, he is the leading sack producer. High snap, Burke brings it down, and the pass is complete, and they get the 1st down to Jasper Collins. Wow. The Crusaders thought they had him pinned deep, a bobbled snap, and a huge throw for a 1st down.
Mike Maldonado here at the end of this tries to give a good pop to him, but you have to wrap up, and you've got a big receiver in Junior Collins. You've got to find a way to get him down. Instead of 4th down, now you're looking at 1st.
And now Burke's going to run, and stays up, and still pushing. Boy, a lot of guys had a shot at him, but he finally gets down all the way to the 25.
And again, Dan, key, I think, for this Purple Raiders offense is that 1st down stat that you gave a little while ago, averaging 9 in the first half or first quarter. Now they're starting to get that rhythm on 1st down where it makes things a lot easier on 2nd and 3rd.
2nd down and 2. The Purple Raiders offense showing signs of life. Skilleter will run off tackle and get another 1st down. Ryan Skilleter, the senior from Curtis, Ohio. One of those seniors that's been left out of the Stag Bowl championship group here, and they're working very hard to get back to the championship game Friday night in Salem, Virginia. 1st and 10. Here's Skilleter, almost the same run, inside the 20.
Second down, 5.
Boy, the hits have been coming fast and furious. Burke with time, he'll throw a corner ball for Jasper Collins. Touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown catch, his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Well, they went back to the corner route. We mentioned how he loves to run that slant corner for a touchdown earlier. Same corner of the end zone. And that's trusting your wide receiver, throwing it up there and seeing if he can make a play.
Roderick Kane was the cover guy. Collins caught a similar pass right in that corner earlier. On the first one, he was wide open. This time, he was well covered.
The play is under review.
Well, they're going to look at it, but even from the long angle that we just saw, it looks like he was in bounds. Again, it's just 1 foot.
I think the question maybe did he come down with the football? His feet were in bounds here, and then you can kind of see at the end of that he ran over to the ball and picked it up. Did he have control of it? I think is the question that they're looking at. Inbounds clearly there. Does he come down with the football?
I don't see where he did not have possession at any point. But we let the replay officials do their jobs.
Yeah, you just wonder, was he rolling over there to kind of show the football that he had made the catch? And again, I kind of agree that not enough evidence again to overturn this. I think Mount Union gets the touchdown here.
And makes this game a lot more interesting. Here's a tighter look.
Clearly the foot's down, and the question is, does he have control of the ball?
Now on that angle, it looks more possible that he doesn't have control. Let's see.
Well, assume the foot's down here. Does this show control of the football?
Maybe not.
Maybe not, because that angle, it looks like he maybe juggled it and then got control of the ball. So this may be overturned.
Jasper Collins from Geneva, New York. He's almost an automatic touchdown anytime the Purple Raiders throw to him in the end zone. If he catches this, this would be his 12th touchdown of the playoffs.
One more look here. He has possession there. Does it swipe? He
Okay.
loses it. The ball separates from his hands as he got a swipe from the defensive back.
And from where the officials were, they probably couldn't see that in real time on the field. So Jasper may have to come back on the field and see if they can find some more passing magic. Remember, at one point, this was a 14-7 Mount Union lead back in the first half. 21 unanswered points by the Crusaders that all came as a result of Purple Raider turnovers. And Kevin Burke's confidence seemed to waver a little bit in the passing game for Mount Union, but we're waiting for Brad Robber to
regardless if this is a touchdown or not. We're going to find out here. I think it's going to help Burke's confidence. This drive will help Burke's confidence.
After review, the receiver never had possession in the field of play. Incomplete pass. The ball will be placed on the 13-yard line, 3rd and 5.
So maybe a temporary setback for Mount Union. Third down and 5 from the 13-yard line, and the touchdown is rolled off the scoreboard. So a little bit of time for the Purple Raiders to catch their breath and scheme for this third down play.
At the 13-yard line.
Wind is still very strong. And mind you, another important component, this is not a Purple Raider team that's going to kick field goals.
And you look at the formation as Mount Union comes out. Jasper Collins again to the near side. They've brought a cornerback over the top. It really opens up the center of this football team if Mount Union wants to go there.
Skilleter will run, and he will get stopped. Down to maybe the 10-yard line. They call it the 9, and it brings up 4th and 1. They can still get a first down without scoring. And the officials are going to call a timeout. We've got an injured player down for the Crusaders. That's Jared Favorite, senior linebacker, who is now being helped off. And he's walking off under his own power. So 4th and 1 from the 9-yard line. And here's where he took the injury right there, kind of a helmet-to-helmet hit. So he'll come off and get looked at. Here's 4th and 1. Skilleter pushes the pile and gets the Purple Raider first down. He's very close. Crusaders can't bring enough defensively to stop him from getting the first down.
Talk about Crusaders trying to fight to get that extra yards right there. And Skilleter, the senior, all the determination in the world for him to pick up that first down, and he gets it for this football team.
8 rushes on this drive for Mount Union. Handoff is to Skilleter, who comes from the end and gets to about the 5. And this might be the last play of our third quarter of football. Second and goal from the 5 after a 2-yard pickup. Burke's going to keep it. He fumbles the football, but he got it back. A big hit in the backfield by Cody Jones almost led to a 5th turnover committed by Mount Union. That's going to end our third quarter. A close call for the Purple Raiders, but they're still knocking on the door here against Mary Hardin Baylor. Mount Union's been averaging 55 points a game this year. Right now, they'll settle for just 7. They're well off their mark, but every point in possession is at a premium right now. 3rd and goal from the 10. And Burke's got to run. He'll fire in the end zone. Touchdown. Caught in the corner by Julius Moore. We watched Kevin earlier, John. We could see his confidence wavering a little bit, but not on that throw.
No, perfect throw to the outside. And you can see the receiver come back to the front corner of the end zone, help his quarterback out. Brilliant throw to the outside, but nice job by Julius Moore going to the back of the end zone, getting the defender to come back there with you and then come to the front and help out your quarterback. Great job from the receiver.
He doesn't get the headlines like Jasper Collins does, but he has made some big plays in their playoff run so far. Point after is all good, and now it's a one-score game. And again, Mount Union isn't used to these close games, but considering what they have to play for, they'll be glad to take it.
He plays to the wide side of the field. Jasper gets all the throws to the short side, gets forced to the outside. Again, can't talk how important that is to a quarterback when a wide receiver comes back to help you when you're scrambling, and he knows exactly where to go, and a quarterback knows that that's where I can find my guy, that's where I can trust it, and he delivers a strike to the outside.
Made it a kickoff for the Purple Raiders.
Blair Skilleter did a lot of work on that drive, 9 carries for 33 yards, but it finishes on the 10-yard pass to Julius Moore.
He said how friendly a running game would be to Burke, as that would really kind of set up the pass for him and kind of calm him down. They had success on the ground, and his ability to find him in the end zone at the end was, I think, part of that was because of that run game.
Kick taken on the hop by Jeff Miles. He fumbles it, now he tries to run the other way, and he's still going. Out to about the 16 or maybe 17-yard line. So we have a football game that is as competitive as we thought it would be. We look at the brackets and we'll set the stage for what's going to happen. The winner is moving to Friday's game at 7 o'clock in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl in Salem, Virginia. That's live here on ESPNU. And here's Bailey running up the middle, waiting for blockers. Elijah Hudson was the carrier. Sorry, it was a delayed handoff to him.
And it's going to be the battle of the big boys up front, I think, here is this Crusader offense going to continue to try to keep it on the ground, pound the football, and is this Purple Raiders defense up to the task?
Hudson again, he turns outside, and 2 tacklers converge. An ankle tackle slowed him down, and then he gets popped, and it brings up 3rd down.
Charles Diesel that time making the initial contact. You can see him holding that left arm. He hit him high. We talk about the physicality that guy brings to this football team, and sometimes you hurt yourself. You're so physical out there.
The Crusaders are 4 of 12 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. 3rd and 4 from their own 23 here. And the Crusaders from Mary Hardin Baylor will take a timeout. We'll step aside as well. A 1-touchdown lead for the visitors in the Division III semifinals. We don't get to address fashion very often here, but look in that end zone. The guy in the middle kind of stands out. He didn't get the dress code attire, did he?
Came up a little short.
3rd down and 4. Here's the run and the stop. No first down as Bailey gets pounded by 2 Purple Raider jerseys. Looked like he had a good head of steam. He's pretty close.
4th and 1.
They're going to call it 4th and 1.
Well, every time that this Crusaders offense is needed to pick up a couple of yards, it seems like they go to their quarterback, Bailey, to try to get those yards to him. They did it on the goal line. They did it in a 4th and short situation. That time he comes up a little bit short, and now they're going to have to get rid of the football, and these fans and the offense for these Purple Raiders are ready to go.
Chad Peavy will punt, and he's going to have to run in his block. And the Purple Raiders are going to cover it in the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Union. Spencer and a host of purple jerseys came crashing through. The touchdown is Nigel Thomas, who recovers it in the end zone. And this game is 1 point away from being tied. Special teams makes a special play. Mount Union had been starving for a turnover, and they turned the block punt into a touchdown, and the extra point ties it at 28. Last week, they were blocking punts in their playoff game. Look at this one here.
Yeah, actually, Nick Driscoll had 2 block punts in 1 quarter, including one that was returned for a touchdown to kind of spark the offense and get it going. So this team knows how to get back there and really set up their offense pretty well, or actually get it in the end zone 2 weeks in a row. Block punts have caused touchdowns for this Mount Union offense.
So here's the most recent one. Peavy just got totally boxed in. And a crowd that is used to heading for the exits at this point of the game in the fourth quarter, well, they're all in right now, considering what's at stake. A trip to the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl on Friday night in Salem, Virginia at 7 o'clock.
I'll tell you, the guy in the suit down there, now he looks like the guy that was sitting there beside him. They went crazy at that touchdown in that end zone.
So the punt, or the kickoff, taken by Jeff Miles. And he's still going. Boy, he found a gear and got to about the 30-yard line.
Tackled by Roy Fowler. First down, Crusaders.
So the first down will be at the 29-yard line.
Baylor, 29-yard line.
And the Crusader fans that were living large in that third quarter when they were up 28-14, well, they're trying to refire those engines right now. First and 10 at the 29. Long time for Bailey to throw, and he finally gets it out here near side, and an opportunity for Wilson to get big yardage. Finally taken down, all the way down to the Mount Union 30-yard line.
That's the way to cry it down the crowd and give Bailey a lot of credit here for, he wanted to go deep to his receiver to the left side. Nobody was there, and he finally got it to his check down guy, Wilson, with all the speed to the outside. Nobody was there to get him, but he originally wanted to go up top to his wide receiver.
That's a 38-yard pickup. And Bailey gets hammered down on the option. Matt Fetchko blows it up for Mount Union.
Fetchko that time quick off the ball. Jacob Hunter, the center, wasn't able to cut him off that time. And think about that, high school teammates with Frank Arteca, the guy that's playing right beside him on that offensive line. Those two know each other. 91, 93, you can see him right there in your screen. Those guys have been together for a long time.
Loss of 6 yards brings up second down and 16. Ladero Bailey. Now his adrenaline is pumping big time, and they will blow this play dead. Flag before the snap.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You know, players, John, in critical moments of games, and you played in the FCS playoffs in your playing career, they talk about slowing the game down in a moment like this when your adrenaline just wants to take over and overwhelm you.
Yeah, and that's where usually senior leadership steps into that category. And you're talking about a senior and quarterback, Ladero Bailey, that time, but that's all on a quarterback's shoulders there if that time runs out.
Second down and 21. Pressure. They complete, but it's going to get stopped. They may not even get positive yardage on it, but Ladero Bailey had a lot of pressure, and he's been dealing with that all afternoon long.
And I love the defensive call. You think second down and 20 or second down and 19 that you can lay back and kind of play prevent? No, not this Purple Raiders defense. They're going to come after you. Good play call, I think, from a screens perspective, but the Purple Raiders defense certainly were right there to stop that one.
It's a gain of 1 yard, third and 20. goes. It has been a frustrating afternoon for Ladero Bailey, contending with that pressure.
Watch Isaiah Scott come from the left side of your screen, kind of a delayed blitz that time. Pressure from the Fetchko up front, and then from the cornerback to the outside. Isaiah Scott was there to team up with them, and boy, they really backed up this Crusaders offense after that big play.
That's Matt Fetchko's third sack of the game, and Peavy gets this punt away, and it is not going to be returned. It goes in the end zone.
Peavy's punt goes into the end zone.
And now it's Mount Union football when we come back. A 14-point run by them. More Division III semifinal action when we come back. Fourth quarter comebacks are not the norm for Mount Union's Purple Raiders, but they are in the thick of one right now, and let's take a look at their last drive and see how they fought their way back in this game.
Well, and it all started with the run game as they needed to establish that to take some pressure off of Burke. You can see a big fourth down. The Crusaders weren't able to wrap up and get off on defense, and that powerful running game kept the drive alive and not open up things for Kevin Burke, the quarterback, who threw a strike to the front corner of the end zone, and the Purple Raiders tie this thing up.
Skilleter on the run. Blair gets maybe a yard, and the play clock looks manageable, obviously, for both teams, and it puts a little more pressure on the next team that doesn't score. This has all the inklings of a one-score game. Second down and 8. And Burke's going to throw. Nope, he gets taken down. That time the Crusaders' defensive front came in big time. Mark Perez, the sophomore from Sinton, Texas, is the sack provider there.
Initially, I thought there was pretty good protection, and Burke had time to deliver that football. He's got to get rid of it right there. That clock has to go off in his head, and eventually those big guys will find a way there. But Burke initially had, I think, time to throw the football, just nowhere to go with it.
Burke has been sacked 4 times this afternoon. He'll throw here. Deep ball, and it is caught far side. Pushed out of bounds. And Jasper Collins makes a tough catch right in front of that Mount Union bench.
The junior Collins to the outside. Watch him here drive the defender off, and you've got to respect the speed that he has. So as a defender, you know you don't want him running by you, and it's very difficult to be out there on an island one-on-one covering that guy.
First down at the 35-yard line. Skilleter will run on the end. And ball is fumbled.
First down, Mary Hardin Baylor.
The Crusaders get the turnover. Blair, Skilleter on the run, and maybe our video will support where this happened.
The ball stripped on the outside again, and that's Broderick Crane, the guy that intercepted the ball, returned it for a touchdown, and again, that's the second turnover by Skilleter as he fumbles that. He was the guy that also turned over that punt that gave the Crusaders an opportunity to score down there. So the senior having a tough day right now. And this Crusaders offense, if they can put something on the board here, it could be enough for them.
Ball at the 38-yard line for Ladero Bailey. Boy, the emotions so high in this game. Bailey's got time to throw, and a deep ball, the crossing route over the middle. Caleb Moore is stopped inside the 5-yard line. Ladero Bailey didn't have much pressure that time, and it makes for a huge pickup for the Crusaders.
And we talked about it all day, how many teams go up top right after a turnover, try to get a big play when that defense is not ready. They say they don't have a bunch of world beaters at the wide receiver position for this Crusaders offense, but they have a bunch of guys that are willing to do anything, including blocking down the field. Great play for that offense.
They get 35 yards, first and goal at the 4. Bailey on the option, touchdown. Boy, the Crusaders are making Mount Union pay for every mistake that they have made.
And again, they just go to that option on the outside. That's 2 touchdowns on him. Every time they need to pick up that first down, they go back to that same play that they have all the confidence in the world, and Bailey can get that yards for him, for that team.
Chad Peavy on for the point after. And he's able to put it through to make it a 1-touchdown game, a 35-28 lead for the Crusaders. The option touchdown here against Mount Union. Lots of football left here, but Mary Hardin Baylor takes advantage of another mistake. And the problems taking care of the football that almost always comes back to hurt you.
You got to hold on if you're on the road and you can create turnovers. It gives you opportunity. 2 interceptions and 3 fumbles have cost this football team today, but opportunistic offense taking advantage of every time they've gotten a turnover and went down and scored the touchdown, and that's teamwork.
Well, that's the direct cause and effect for Mount Union right now, and they are working like crazy to try to get over the hump. At one point they had a 14-7 lead. That went away, and the kickoff is caught inside the 5-yard line. They do a little bit of misdirection, and Julius Moore is the returner. Tried to hide that a little bit on the return, but 7.5 minutes of football left, and it is wide open. The winner is moving into the 7 o'clock game on Friday in Salem, Virginia, the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl. And there's the brackets. Those are the 4 teams left. We'll know at least who one of the teams is when this game goes final in the next 7.5 minutes. Skilleter bouncing out, then turning in for not much. A game of offense. Looked like Mount Union's offense was right on track early, but Kevin Burke, the sophomore quarterback, numbers look reasonably good, but again, it's been an up and down game for him.
Now you look at those 2 interceptions, only had 5 on the year coming into this football game, so not like him to turn it over.
And he completes to Collins, who runs the slant route in the middle. And a first down pickup.
Now we talk about him running the slant corner for touchdowns. That's why the slant corner is so effective, because his ability to just make one cut, use those great hands he has to be able to receive that ball.
Yeah, Collins has been ringing up all kinds of good numbers in the postseason, and even today with those 2 touchdown catches back in the first half. Ball at the 36, and the keep ends up getting not much for Kevin Burke and the Purple Raiders.
Tackle made by Corey Stewart.
So 6 minutes and 15-ish seconds are left. And again, the impetus for the seniors for Mount Union, who have been to the championship game the last 3 years. They're going to have a huge challenge just to get to this year's championship game. Burke throws it down the sidelines, too high. And they wanted a flag, and Collins was the receiver. Ball was a little ahead of him.
Boy, take a look at the screen here. Watch the arm of the defender here. He's got it on him. And The crowd wanted it over there, and Jasper wanted it. You can see him get up emotional. And he's not a guy that begs for a whole lot. He knows he can do it without any help.
3rd and 6 at the 40-yard line. Burke's got a little bit of time, and he completes it inside. And a first down, he hits Collins again.
And this offense for Mount Union is designed to hit that short side of the field all day when you're talking about a crossing route coming across, the slant routes that they work, and Jasper's the perfect X receiver to that short side of the field.
Ball at the 48. Burke in the middle, that is caught. That is a tough catch in big-time traffic. Colton Jacob, the tight end, on the grab, and they get a big chunk on that throw and catch.
Well, it just seemed a lot more confidence in that throw by Burke. He kind of settled down here in the 4th quarter. It was a kind of a rough patch for him there through the 2nd, but it looks like his confidence is back.
Skilleter inside, puts the helmet down and crashes to about the 20.
When you kind of feel for Skilleter back there, turning that football over on the fumble and on that punt situation, you'd almost like to see him get an opportunity to make up for that and try to find a way to get this in the end zone.
2nd down and 6. Ball thrown, Burke, and it's incomplete. He wanted Chris Denton.
Again, some hand jockeying out there, and not nitpicking. The referee's letting these guys play a little bit.
3rd and 6 from the 20. Burke in the middle, it is caught, and he stays on his feet, and Collins gets all the way to the 2-yard line. Tough catch and yardage afterwards.
Well, the defender, Broderick Crane here, tried to play physical on that slant this time to prevent it. And the big body of Jasper Collins just kind of ran him over, pushed him down. And
so pass interference on defense gets waved off.
Now he just tried to jump that slant pattern. That's how he was able to pick it off earlier in the game on the outside. And you could see 10 receptions and 175 yards on the day, and I don't think he's done yet.
He is single-handedly keeping Mount Union in this game. 1st and goal at the 2. And here's Skilleter. Can't get more than 1 yard.
Stopped by Corey Stewart.
Corey Stewart off the right side. Take a look at the speed he has coming off the edge, chasing him down.
Just inside the
He maybe got half a yard, if anything. In fact, they say he didn't get anything. So it's 2nd and goal from the 2.
Timeout.
And
Mount
a timeout
Union.
by the
First charge,
Purple
timeout.
Raiders,
timeout, Mount Union.
who have to be very careful about their play calling here. Larry Karras, not used to games this close, but he knows how hard it is to finish off and get to that championship game. That's what's ahead of the winner of this game. 7 o'clock Friday night on ESPNU, right here, the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl. For Mount Union, been there, done that, but haven't won.
Yes, and maybe it is that adversity when you start to play some teams and you get to that final game and you get that matchup. You're not beating teams by 50 points, and, are you used to that? But one thing I can say is we questioned whether the sophomore quarterback, Kevin Burke, would react positively to some of that, and he has. He really has taken control of this offense here in the 4th quarter and led this football team.
Jasper Collins has 3 catches for 40 yards on this drive. He has been the go-to guy in the passing game for Kevin Burke. And now with 2nd and goal, after the Purple Raiders come out of the timeout, this is the 10th play of this drive. Skilleter is in the end zone.
And for the senior, you're glad to see he was able to get it in here. A good double team block, and the guard was able to come off on the linebacker and get just enough of him to be able to find that room for him to be able to squeak in there. And great effort by Skilleter, but again, nice block by the offensive guard, Matt Maddox, as he came off that double team and chipped that linebacker just enough.
Almeida hits the all-important point after. And there's the long drive that ends on the Blair Skilleter 2-yard touchdown run. Well, there's going to be no easy rides to the Division III championship game for these two teams.
No, and a great matchup when you're talking about the passing efficiency leaders coming into this year, the offenses, the way they match up, and it's just been everything we thought it would be coming into this game.
So still lots of time for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders to counter with perhaps their own score. And again, Skilleter listed as a cornerback. However, they have no qualms about moving him into their offensive backfield. And this is Jeff Miles on the kickoff return for the Crusaders. And he gets stopped at the 20-yard line. Momentum going back and forth in this game. Here's a 4th down stop. That led to the Purple Raiders touchdown throw there. And the block punt gets covered in the end zone. All part of the second half momentum that Mount Union is trying to ride the wave and see if they can get their defense to make something good happen here. Ball to the 21-yard line for Ladero Bailey. Pressure, and he completes. That's a tough catch in the open field to the tight end, Tyler Coker. Well, you can't say enough about Ladero Bailey having to fight off adversity against that defensive pressure.
And this Purple Raiders defense, speaking of pressure, is not going to let up right now. They want to force that turnover that they so need in this football game to maybe turn this thing around here.
3-yard gain, they go to Elijah Hudson. Hudson, their power runner, but he has not been getting as many touches as he had earlier in this game.
And you wonder what's going on in the mind of the punter on the sidelines, thinking if he has to get in this football game after having one blocked earlier today and the success that this Mount Union team has had on blocking punts.
3rd and 5 at the 26. Bailey's going to throw. Ball is too high. Intended. I don't know who was going to get that. Jeff Miles was the closest one, but way too high, and it brings up 4th down and 5.
You know, all the credit that time goes to that defensive front. Actually, there was probably 6 guys that came after the quarterback that time. I was trying to count them. They stand at the line of scrimmage, and again, you wonder what's going through his mind right now as a punter. Somehow got to get this thing off.
Ball is at the 26-yard line. Not much pressure. Chris Denton will return, and he'll have to drift back. What a great punt. And it takes a Crusader bounce, but Denton's going to run. And he's got a little bit of room on that side as the field gets stretched out. Back to almost the 30, a 59-yard punt from Chad Peavy at a point when the Crusaders really needed a big kick.
Yeah, and he answered the question, is he nervous or not? Purple Raiders did not come after him. They were playing a return that time, and he outkicked not only the return, the coverage, but everybody, and really helped his football team out.
2:09 left here. The winner has a short work week. They would play Friday in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. They would gladly welcome the chance to have a short work week. Ball at the 29-yard line for Kevin Burke and Mount Union's offense. And he throws a swing pass complete far side. Denton on the reception, but it's for minimal gain.
Second down and 10.
There's Kevin Burke's numbers today. One of those interceptions taken back for a Crusader touchdown. Kevin Burke looking at 2nd and 10 from his own 29. Time, and he throws complete, and Skilleter gets popped coming across, but he hops right up. Well, that sounded pretty tough.
I'm telling you, I've seen as many hard hits in this football game as I've seen all year. And think about that, Jared Favorite, he's the guy that they had to carry off or walked off last time by the end zone, who was already dinged up after a hard hit.
Only a minute left in regulation. This is 3rd down and 2, and the officials blow this play dead. All right, let's...
Prior to the snap, timeout, Mount Union. Second charge, timeout.
So as we showed you early in this football game, Mount Union is not used to having to fight and win a game in the 4th quarter. Well, look at the scoreboard here. Maybe you're wondering, can the Purple Raiders get into field goal position? Well, probably. However, Tyler Almeida is not a guy that you want to put into a pressure situation like that. He hasn't been there. Coaches even concede, look, he's just not kicking under significant duress the way he would be here. They said his range is maybe 30 yards. So kind of a tough spot for Larry Karras and Mount Union's offensive scheming here.
Yeah, good numbers right there, but have those been in the important situation that you need right now? And if you look at the wind a little bit, it's kind of into their face. So a little bit of a breeze going to be left to right if they can get down there in that field goal range.
They need a lot of yards anyway. It is 3rd and 2. They're at their own 37. There's the streak of consecutive wins here at home for Mount Union. Here's a handoff. Skilleter. That's not him, but they get a power run from Jake Simon. Skilleter got his bell rung, so he's on the sideline, and they move to the 48, and they're hurrying up the offense right now. And now Burke's going to throw a deep ball down the middle. It is complete, and Jasper Collins strikes again. Will they have a chance for a field goal? The clock stops while the chains move.
And another beautiful throw by Burke as he finds his favorite receiver right down the middle of the field. Great touch by the quarterback.
Burke with time, and now he's going to stay on his feet, and he will make a tackle or miss and run inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. 19 seconds left. Well, I don't know if Tyler Almeida is thinking to himself, man, I hope I get a chance to kick a field goal here. The game clock is rolling with 11 seconds left. And they will hand it. And it's a touchdown. Jake Simon. Jake Simon answers the bell. 2 carries on this drive for 23 yards. Only 1 rushing attempt last week before this series. And they whistle it dead before the point after goes up.
Full start, kicking team, number 59. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Wow, does it get any better than that? I'll tell you, the blocking up front that time, I think the crew probably thought that they may be throwing the football at that time because that was wide open, nobody there, and nothing better than that. You get to celebrate with your fans down in the end zone, people you go to school with, and boy, you just love the reaction of the fans as he got into the end zone.
And the senior, Jake Simon, leads them into the Friday night game in Salem, Virginia. How appropriate is that? A game that was very much in doubt in the third quarter, when Pete Friedenberg's Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders were up by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, what a heartbreak for this football team. They came up here on the road, cold weather from Texas, and had to fight this crowd and the atmosphere. They did everything they possibly could to try to get this victory today. Took advantage of every turnover, scored every opportunity they had, converted on 4th downs, and Mount Union, that's why they've had the success that they've had at this place. They know how to win football games.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please.
A wild second half of football.
Seniors of both of these squads.
And now the game will stop for just a moment as the team's senior players will be honored.
Timeout, Mount Union.
So we talk about the emotional swing, John. The seniors for this Mount Union team, they're used to just trailblazing everybody here and winning handily. Today, a different kind of game, and they were able to find the emotional center to get focused and get back in this game. And the frustration on the sideline for Lamar Seals, the defensive tackle who was hoping he could carry this team to that next game, the championship game on Friday night.
Boy, and these seniors for this Mount Union football team, and one of them is Jasper Collins, and has he's not stepped up and done everything he could to help this football team win today. And a lot of it also has to go on just a sophomore, the young sophomore quarterback and first-year starter in Kevin Burke, who made all the big throws when he needed to win this football game for Mount Union, if in fact they can hold on for the next 5 seconds.
So we'll see what happens here on the kickoff. A squib kick down right away, so no return. And one play is about all that the Crusaders are going to have to work with.
And Mary Hardin Baylor takes over 1st down.
Well, you could see the emotion right there on Lamar Seals, just a freshman, but how important it is to him and this team. And I tell you, Lamar, if your team plays with the guts and everything they have right now and the way they did tonight, I think you're going to have that opportunity to maybe playing it again.
And what a great testament to Pete Friedenberg and his team when the freshmen are as invested emotionally as the seniors. you know you've done a great job coaching.
Absolutely.
So here it is. The Crusaders of Mary Hardin Baylor need a miracle right now. Bailey will throw, and he'll complete. They'll run the hook and ladder. And the ball is taken, and it's going to be returned. And the Purple Raiders are headed back to the Division III championship game on Friday. Matt Fetchko will get the touchdown that ends this game. The coaches will shake hands at midfield.
Hardin Baylor, 35.
And a hard finish for Mary Hardin Baylor's Crusaders. They won the turnover battle, but could not overcome. And here's the last play.
Now they did everything they possibly could here with the laterals and everything, and it was over at this time. And just a little salt in the wound right there for Mount Union being able to put that last one on the board, and look at the celebration with their fans in the end zone, and a great atmosphere for football.
So Mount Union has punched their ticket to the finals, and they are traveling to Salem, Virginia for the Friday game at 7 o'clock in the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl right here on ESPNU. They can win it the easy way, they can win it the hard way. For my partner, John Gregory, I'm Dan Gutowski. We thank you for joining us, and we say so long from Mount Union Stadium. A wild game, Mount Union winning 48-35 over Mary Hardin Baylor. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.